to Player 2 Start Podcast, episode number this, what you see down there. With me are my co-hosts, Sakurai,
hello,
Kat, and we have a special guest today, our good friend, Cheef. He's in one of the boxes, either here somewhere, somewhere around me. He's in one of the boxes. He's joining us for a special episode, and we will tell you all about it right now. Go on ahead, my friend. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, Cheef. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Cheef.
Dude, it's my
We've
pleasure,
all
dude.
played
It's
games with you at some point, and Jock, I know, has played with you probably for years, and
We've
a lot
played
more
a lot
than
of games together.
me and Zach. Yeah, I think the only game I ever played with you was Ready or Not, but I think that was the first time I ever played it, and that was just chaos.
Well, before we go any further,
is,
we would like to tell you about today's topic. Today's topic is, and Cheef, would you mind telling, I'll tell you about the topic, but Cheef, you mind telling the people, the audience, what you do for a living?
Wow, dude, straight into it, buddy. I'm a police officer. Not really much to it.
I'm a police officer,
you talk about games like Ready or Not. Well, I do that in real life, I guess.
I mean, most of our episodes that we've been doing, and this is for our audience, like we've talked about video games. We rate video games. We do annual our games list, but we wanted to put a little
video games.
Yeah, we complain a lot about video games and products, But today's episode has a little more human perspective to it. Like it's more about your profession and how you find time for gaming and how gaming changed your life and how do you blend your social life, work life, gaming life together. And that's why we decided what better to start with one of our friends who works a job that has the similar kind of hours that a doctor, a nurse, ER, people like that have very important professions that work round the clock. Basically, how do they balance their life? So that's why Cheef is joining us for our first episode of Gamers and Humanity and Profession, and I don't know what I'm saying now.
Is that the title of the segment?
I have no idea. I'm making stuff as I go, bro, dude.
So I'm actually going to take it away with the questions.
There you go.
All right, good.
All right,
Cool,
Cheef, so you're a police officer. How long have you been a police officer?
I'm coming up this year would be my 7th year.
Wow, nice,
That's a long
man.
time. So this is like a career, like a long
Oh,
term.
dude, it's done. Like
Yeah.
I'm all the way in and now.
Yeah, you might as well
7
go
years.
the full way.
Yeah, but I'm counting down. 7. I think I need 25 to retire.
Yeah.
So whatever.
And I'm sure, like
I count down every day.
anybody in any profession, after 7 years, you do start that countdown. Like that's a
Oh
thing.
boy.
So
we're coming up soon.
What made you want to become a police officer?
Oh man, that's a real good question. So I worked in the gun and the airsoft industry like concurrently as soon as I got out of high school, and I had been doing that for maybe like 5 years already. And a couple buddies, to be honest, like I never knew what I wanted to do as a career. I was like, dude, this is great. Like I get to play and like fix guns and tinker with stuff and like make stuff, every day. So I had these couple buddies that they wanted to be cops, right? So one day we were like, hey, they were like, hey, they come with us. We're gonna go take this test. It's the entrance exam. I was like, okay, like, why would I want to do that? They're like, well, let's go. It's in downtown. We'll go get some beers after. I said, okay, fine, cool. So I go with like 5 dudes from my work, right? We all go take the test together. I'm the only one that passed.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I guess it's too late now.
Yeah.
So, I passed the test, and it's funny because here I am now.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Did any of those guys
never
ever become an officer after?
Two of them are like, I think 2 of them are now with Border Patrol.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then one of them is like a city,
Gotcha.
Police officer. But
Did you not
That's
think
cool.
you would pass? Or is it just like, I'm just going to do this for shits and giggles? Go get a
Totally
beer after.
not. It had been like 5 years after high school already. So like they had questions on that thing that I didn't expect, like math. They had like
Right,
long,
yeah.
like you had to do long division. I said I don't know how to. Like, let me just guess.
Yeah.
So I guessed on every like math question, and you know, here I am, dude.
Well, it
I
turns out
passed,
you
I
didn't
guess.
really have to know long division.
That's
That's
crazy.
pretty good. That's
if
me
you got the other
helping
parts
my
of the
daughter
test
with
right.
her homework. I'm like, wait, this is 4th grade math. Why can't I do this?
Yeah.
That's funny. And when I took the CBP test for Border Patrol, it was also like full of like math questions and all kind. Like it was like an SAT. It felt like I was like, man, this is really hard. This is a lot of questions.
I don't know. You're like, where is this gonna like
Yeah.
equate to like me doing it? But then like it's funny, right? Because now I think about it, right? And then so I work, you know, just kind of like a side note, I do my own timesheets now. So I work 40 hours, and like, dude, I have to use math to like add up my 40 hours a week, bro. That's so hard. I
Sure,
work
there's
from
an
this
app
day.
for that.
I work from this time to this
There's an app
time.
for everything.
I was like, that's why there's math in this test.
Awesome.
Well, what's our next question, Sakurai? You want to ask him? You want me to ask him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can ask another question since we're doing this. No, I'm just kidding.
we can just ask questions as we go. It doesn't have to be like a panel.
So,
Okay.
you know, her like, sir.
Interrogation.
Yeah,
That's my job.
One of our questions was like, after a long day of doing what you do, if you're doing field work, whatever, what do you like to go? What do you like to come home and play? Like, what
What's
games
your wind
do you
down
like?
game?
Yeah,
Oh man, dude, it's
like because sometimes you want to come home and you like want to zone out on a
Yeah.
game.
And I've
you know
seen
what I
your
mean?
Steam library. You have every kind of game. Like you
Yeah.
play
Well,
it all. You play it
yeah,
all.
there's a reason for that too. I mean, you know, one, I'm like super indecisive, so I'll get home and it just really depends on what the flavor of the week is, you know.
Okay.
Couple like last month was like Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was into that, so you know I would come home, log in a couple hours. Probably before that was, you know, I was Dragon's Dogma. I think I'm on a little bit of like a RPG thing right now, especially with, or like a Souls-like game, because especially with Elden Ring's new DLC coming out right now, I think I'm gonna be on that
Ah, I see. Yeah.
when I come. Which it's not like really like a wind down game, you know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
those are-
Souls
I don't
like
want-
games are.
but-
Like, you know, in the last episode, I said you have to be a masochist to like Souls like games because those are. I don't think okay, it's everybody's cup of tea, right? It may not be that difficult. It's just like the you make all that effort and you just like you die kind of feeling. I'm like, oh my god, why do I want to do this over and over again?
But-
I don't think
I
it's a
don't
wind
think I
down
would
game
like
for
it.
me.
I think I would.
I think
flip
it's
the
not really
table.
like, because you know how like some people they'll want like a cozy game, and I like my cozy games too. I was playing one Dystopica this morning, super cozy. Like the type of game where you'd have like no objective, just hey, build a city, here you go.
Yeah, I love those.
But I think for me, like a lot of the gaming aspect too is like taking myself out of like the world that I'm in right now, and like everything that I deal with, and just like bloop, like here I am, Elden Ring. I'm in Elden Ring land now, and you know, I think that's really like a big part of the wind down, and that's why I play like so many games that are especially like really immersive, versus some like cozy, something quick. You know, I like to really immerse myself in something, and that's kind of what gets me to wind down and hey, get out of my cop mode and all that shit.
Yeah, because we've played a lot of games that are cop mode. We've played Ready or Not. We've played a ton of Arma 3, like tactically. We've played.
There's also those times where I'm sure you've seen it happen where I like, hey man, I just got home from work and I'll be playing Police Simulator.
Yeah.
I know we
I
played that
remember
together.
You
Yeah,
and Sakurai played that thing together. It was.
that was funny. I love that.
Do you think that
but-
you're better at those kind of games because of your profession, or are you just better than Sack just because you're better than Sack?
I don't want to say I'm better. It really depends on the game. Ready or Not, games like tactical shooters, I think they do benefit from like a lot of like real world stuff that I've like done and I've like learned. So I think tactical shooters, I don't want to say I'm better. I think I grasp a lot more of the concept of like the tactical side
Right.
of the game, you know.
Yeah.
What's something you would implement from like your real life, like in a real life, what you learned in real life as a police officer to like, let's say something like Ready or Not?
Just for me would be like basic, basic close quarters and room clearing tactics. And I'm sure well, I don't know, it's been a while since I've played Ready or Not with any of you guys, but I'll do stuff like pie the door.
I don't even know what that
peek
means.
into a room real quick. There's a whole like lesson I can go into.
He's gonna
I
go
have
in
no
instructor
tactical
mode.
skills.
Yeah,
But I'm sure
for,
that
for
you're-
everyone there that
Yeah.
understands, you could take pie the door tactics, you could take peeking, all those tactics that we learn in real world. You
You
can
can
take
go
that in Ready or Not.
foreman, so
Yeah.
on and so forth. But I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that your profession feeds into the tactical shooters in terms of assisting on how to be more efficient and build a more cohesive team, especially if you have people that have that kind of training. Like I know I have had that kind of training. I know you have had that kind of training. So it does really help in breach and clear and foreman, first man in, last man in kind of deal. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting to watch you guys play because I just hear you guys throwing out all this like jargon.
Lingo.
Yeah,
This
and all
jargon.
these, that. Yeah, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
But I've seen
I try not to.
I think
because
it's cool.
I like to play with like.
It's like,
civvies.
well,
I like to play with like
Civvies.
randoms too.
You don't want to intimidate us. No, I think it's cool. I also noticed you have a lot of screenshots and stuff on Steam of some of the simulator games. You have some really cool like. You have some
She
really
stalked
funny
me
ones.
for like a.
I mean, that's like I said, I looked at your profile and I was like, how does his profile look like this? I don't know how to make mine look like that. But I'm not a gamer yet, so.
How many
Yeah, you're not
games
a
do you have in your Steam library? You said you had a
Currently?
bunch. You,
Okay, hold on, let me take like 2 seconds to pull it.
I know.
One.
Go ahead.
1,096.
Holy moly, that's a lot
Wow.
of games.
Oh my god.
That's a
I
lot.
didn't-
And
I
how
didn't
how long
stalk
have
you
you been a
hard enough, I
Steam
guess.
user? I know I first got in like maybe
games do I have?
2010 or something like that.
I only have 54 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've been a member since April 29th of 2008.
Wow, yeah. That's a lot
Which
of
isn't the
games, man.
longest.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it's like Chief and I are
think-
sitting and we're playing games. He's like, yeah, this game looks fun. I was like, it looks okay. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. It's like same thing with DCS. Hey Chief, so we're gonna play, are you thinking about DCS? He's like, yeah. And Chief goes like all out. He's like, he goes to these website, buys a whole flight stick and the throttle and the pedals and the whole 9 yards. Like he gets the nice stuff, and later on Chief flies like the plate for like 2 hours and he's like, yeah,
He's
I'm
like,
done.
I'm done with this game.
Spends hundreds of dollars on product, and then he's like, I'm done.
You gotta go all out, man. You gotta. If you're gonna try to enjoy something, you gotta enjoy it like to its fullest. So.
I don't know, but I was calculating how many games per year he bought over the last 15 years. While you guys are
So
talking.
you can do math.
He bought about 70 games per year
Jeez.
Wow.
in the last 15
Can't hide
years.
money.
That's a
Hide
lot
money.
of games.
I mean, a lot
That
of
is
them
a
are
lot
like.
of games.
I mean, like some of them are free. Some of them are, the
But
free
how
to play
many do you
stuff.
complete? I mean, not like 100%, but just
Finish the
do you,
story.
do you
Yeah.
finish most of the stories you
Yeah, that's
start?
a
And
tough
I'm not asking specifically about Baldur's Gate.
I'm going to
I-
ask specifically about Baldur's Gate.
Look, Baldur's Gate. I completed Baldur's Gate.
I believe you. You have enough hours for it to be believable.
Unlike Sack,
Yeah, unlike Sack.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
we're always
I always
gonna
give
do
crap
that.
to you.
We're always gonna. Well,
I'm going to have to finish it. I'll knock it
Yeah.
out.
Hey, I finished it for you and for me. I did it twice. So
See?
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie when I say there's maybe like 90%. I mean, it's a lot of games, right? So I could say like 90%, and then there's gonna be like 90% of the stuff that I have isn't like completed.
Yeah.
Right,
that's
I
fair.
I could say like maybe like 10% of the games I've completed, which is like that's still a lot. That's like
That's a
100
lot.
games. That's like
Yeah,
100
that's
Yeah,
more
games.
that's
than me.
100.
It's more
That's
than
over
me.
100 games for sure.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I'm for sure like 90% of the games I have on there, like I don't want to say I've never touched, but I want to say like I've never like completed or taken even halfway.
Yeah. That does happen with certain games that you start playing. You get kind of bored midway. I mean, we started playing V-Rise again, then he just disappeared.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
especially games like that. Yeah, once it gets to like
V-Rising is hard because you have to have like a schedule for it too. You know,
Yeah,
I have to like
play with
log
other
on.
people.
I have to log on at this certain time. I have to make sure I put blood in my castle or it goes away.
feed your castle or
I
whatever.
tried to keep it alive for so long till he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done." I was like, "Okay," so I stopped feeding his castle.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, a personal question. Are you in a relationship? If yes, what does your significant other think about when you come home, you're tired, you want to wind down and play video games?
As long as I do my chores first.
Comes home, dishes are waiting. Laundry's
As
waiting.
long as I do my chores first. Which, I mean, there's days where it's like, dude, like I'm just, let me hop on. But you know, it's already like a huge balance, like being a police officer and having a significant other, having the schedule that I have. And then trying to balance that in with like video games, because video games are a part of my life too. Like I can't just
Right.
not,
Yeah.
you know. So
Well, they say that people who are in like police officer or nurses, people who have that schedule usually find a counterpart, like their significant other is usually in a field that maybe not the same, but has that same schedule to make it work.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, she works, you know, my girlfriend, she works at a hospital, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
We nailed
So
it on
two
the head.
emergency
We know it,
services.
now we know.
Yeah. So it's nice to have that respect between each other, that she understands, hey, I need to do video games because it's my outlet, it's my thing, and my significant other as well, like she knows like I have a certain amount of time that I need to myself, you know, and whether it's just me playing a single player game or what multiplayer games with people on Discord, you know, like I have my own time, she has her own time, and I think that's super important for gamers in general, like to have their spouse to understand that about. It's like it's not just a want, it's kind of like a need, like it's like this is who we are.
Yeah.
But as long as you do your chores first.
Yep, you gotta do your chores.
Laundry, dishes.
Well, and I always thought it'd be cool to find someone. I'm in a relationship now, but I was single for a long time, and I thought, man, it'd be really cool to find someone who also is a gamer, and then you can game together.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is I don't want to game with someone. I want it to be my thing, and I am in a relationship with someone who games. We don't play the same kind of games. We don't hang out on the same disc. Like that is really, you have to keep your outlets like your outlets. You can't like, you know.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's room for conflict.
Yeah. And it just becomes not your thing anymore, and it's like something you share with someone.
Sometimes some things need to be individuality. That's very important for everybody's mental health, to be honest. But on that topic, I know we asked about your significant other and all that, but I want to know about your significant what is the right word what I'm looking for? Preference of snacks with video games.
What is your significant snacks?
What's your
And
significant
beverages.
snack?
I mean,
Top five, go.
Yeah.
top 5. Planters, dry roasted,
Yes.
and coffee.
And coffee, yeah.
I don't really eat too much when I game.
Yeah.
Really?
I'll eat like I'll eat
man,
like
I got crumbs all
little
over my
a
desk.
little bag of chips. I hate that. I hate like having crumbs.
Listen,
all
that's
over
why
my
I
computer.
I have an electric compressor for that, so I clean my keyboard like once a week. Throughout the day, I'm not gonna get hungry, but towards later in the evening, I'll crack open a cold one. I'm like, I want some lickies and chewies,
Yeah.
I'll eat dinner. I'll have like a full,
Same,
full
yeah.
meal right here.
I can't.
I'll eat too.
I can't
I'm
have
like
dinner.
I'll be
I'll
cutting
eat.
steak watching one of you stream a game. Like I just
Yeah, I've seen Saki
if that
potato
counts,
salad though on his keyboard.
Oh, easily.
I
Yeah,
drink
my gosh,
potato
like his weight-
salad.
his weight in potato
I eat
salad.
soup over here. It doesn't matter if it's messy.
You eat
I'll eat
soup
my
every day.
ramen. Man, I'm all
and
in.
it's like 100 degrees where I don't get it, but whatever.
Oh man.
I love soup.
Not
man. Soup's
not
great.
much snacking. I mean, there's if I get like really into a game, like I am not. My hands are on like the keyboard or like
you get hyper fixated,
controller,
then
like,
you don't want to do anything.
So you are super focused.
I'm like a hyper
like
fixate kind of dude. Which like it's like it also backfires too because like my whole place can catch on fire and I won't even notice it.
Flames behind you, and you're just like grinding.
That's the worst. Or it's been like, hey, dude, it's been like 10 hours. Like maybe you should go eat something.
Yeah, or you like stand up to use the bathroom and you're like lightheaded because you're like, I also got it. I didn't eat. It's 8 p.m. Started playing at 8 a.m. Yeah, that's me with Red Dead right now. Like,
I'm so glad you had fun in that game.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
You said you try to balance it. How many hours do you think you play like a week playing video games?
Man, weekly, like I'd say maybe 8 to 10 hours.
Maybe 8.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I don't. It's not as much as it used to be.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean. And it's just based on like the workload that I have now and the stuff that I'm doing at work. Whereas like I would say about 3 or 4 years ago, I was gaming about like 5 hours a day almost.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But now it's like it's dumbed down to maybe like 2 hours.
Yeah, you have to make sure how much.
That also depends on the game too. Like sometimes I know when you're off and we start playing a certain game that we all like, the boys decide like, let's play this game. We just get on it.
Yeah.
And we play it
and then sometimes too, that's like the whole week, and then I don't play anything else the all week. So
then you play one straight week of one game. We'll just
like,
be
hey, Monday I played 8 hours of like whatever, like Project Zomboys or something, and then that was it.
That was also fun times, Project Zomboid.
I feel like the balance between like gaming and not gaming, and then there's also like a balance between like when you're gaming, because what I'm struggling with now is I want to hang out with my friends, I want to play games with my friends, but I also really want to play this solo game, and I either go one way or the other. And if I end up playing these multiplayer games or like play Helldivers all week or play, at the end of the week I'll be like, man, I didn't really get to play that much this week because I didn't get to play solo. And I'll feel the opposite if I do, play solo all week instead. Be like, man, I haven't seen my friends.
Yeah, you got to balance it out. Like sometimes
I need more hours in the day.
Like Destiny came out with that big update, and I've barely been on our Discord because I was playing, the whole campaign and all of my characters. So I was away too. So now I'm gonna start making a little comeback. Come hang out with the peeps. Come out, hang out with the people. Say hi.
That's one thing we know about our people. Is we'll always be back.
Yeah, we'll be back. We just let me grind it out a little bit.
We won't be gone long.
Sometimes let me just grind it out in this forest real quick. I'll come back.
Yeah.
I'll come back stronger.
Yeah.
So
I noticed like it's been like that. A lot of people into single player games right now. There hasn't been like a big title that has come out recently for multiplayer that people are like gathering to right now. Have you guys seen anything out there? Like I haven't.
I feel like
even if one of our viewers sees something out there.
Those are still fairly recent.
Yeah.
Like I said, V Rising it has content, but it's not the kind of game that it pulls you in like a lot of other games previously have. It's a fun game, but it's more of a chill survival game. It doesn't have that kind of attraction factor that games in the past have had, that you sit down and you play for hours upon hours. Frankly, I've been bored. Like I know Zach's been playing with a bunch of our friends, but I have not been playing. I've just been on the back end. I'm like, here, the server's on. You guys keep on playing, all day long.
We only have like 3 bosses, including
and
Dracula,
then we're
left.
Yeah, they're done with the game, and then we move on. We may go back to Valheim. We may, with the new Ashlands. We may do Project Zomboid because hopefully, fingers crossed, Build 42 is out soon, and I already have mods downloaded for the current build. If anybody wants to play, I can fire up a server for it at any time. But so on and so forth. But I had a question. So I know we covered a whole episode about this, right? Of our favorite products and all that. And I know we asked him my favorite question about snacks. I want to know what peripherals he likes. Like, what's your favorite go-to brand when it comes to like, let's say you're like, I need to buy a new mouse. Like you stick with the same brand, or do you try a different brand every time? Same with headphones, so on and so forth.
Corsair.
Really?
Straight up.
I can't remember from your setup, but I remembered when we did our competition. I remember really liking yours, but was it all Corsair?
It's all Corsair, all the time. You know, I played.
No, why do you choose Corsair over other brands?
Like esports kind of thing back in the day, you know, back in the day. But we had a little Corsair sponsorship, so Corsair sent us everything. All our computers were built like through Corsair, and then I just never changed. So I have no problems. I just have no problems with any of their products, you know.
So even your mic is Corsair?
No, this is. I had a HyperX, so we'll not go into that.
We won't go there.
We'll not go into that. This is like
not enough on this podcast.
This is like it's like a $40 mic on Amazon that I got.
We probably have the same exact one.
To replace my $150 HyperX. But
I was about to say that's Corsair. I might want to look at that one.
Headphones are HyperX, so headphones are great. Same. They're the Mixcloud. Never liked anything else besides them. I like them. They're good and they're wireless. So but yeah, other than that, everything else, computers like 99.9% Corsair, mouse keyboard Corsair. Underwear Corsair.
Do you feel that loyalty to Corsair since they sponsored you before?
I don't want to say like I feel obligated, right? It's just something that I'm familiar with and I know their stuff and I have no issues with it.
Right.
You know, that's
Hey Corsair, if you're watching this video, do sponsor us because we've got one of your people here that you sponsored previously. I do use a Corsair keyboard and mine. So you remember when we did the competition and I saw his case and everything? Mine is the exact same thing, but mine is all white themed and his is all black themed, right? You know, with everything. Like I've got Corsair fans, I've got a Corsair AIO, Corsair case, Corsair keyboard. I had a Corsair mouse, but after sending it in to get replaced twice, I decided to go with, a Logitech G502, which is, one of the best,
I love that
one of the most famous mice for gamers. And I've had the Logitech G502 Hero in the back, the OG one, and then I switched off. I tried MSI, I tried HyperX, I tried Corsair, and now I'm back to Logitech because, regardless of mice dying after a certain period of time, I find the ergonomics of it to be better than most mice out there. But I agree with them. Like my mouse pad, which is like got a nice LED around it, is also Corsair. So it's not because, like you said, you become familiar with a product that looks nice and kind of complements your build, so you stick with it. So it's the same with me for Corsair. Here's your cue, Corsair. Sponsor us.
I think we have a Corsair tower.
The 4000D series, right? Yeah, that's a really good case.
It's a good tower too. It's a good case to build it.
Yeah, it's got good ventilation. The best thing about that case is ventilation. It keeps your computer cool.
Yeah, it's a high flow of air for sure. I never had an issue with it at all. Even installing, I had installed a very, very large GPU in it that probably shouldn't have fit in there, but and it was a little finicky getting it because it's a mid-tower case, and I bought a GPU for a full tower case basically, and I was able to fit it in, but I mean it was a little finicky. And it's managed just fine. I've never had an issue with it, at least after I installed it.
So Cheef, with the summer sale going on, do you have any games that you have your eye on?
You have a wish list,
or do you already have them all?
It's funny because like I forgot. I just spoke to somebody about this the other day. They're like, "Oh man, the Steam sale's on," and I was like, "Bro, I have every game that I wanted already." There's not too much else that I'm looking for. I'm a big fan of the Persona series, so a lot of the Persona games are on sale right now. And I have all of them for like the PS4. I have all the special editions on the PS4.
Those are the racing games, right? If I remember correctly.
No, it's like it's a JRPG.
Okay. I've never played any of the Persona games. That's why
it's
ignorant. They're highly recommended.
If you have like an entire year to dedicate to it, yes.
Oh wow. No.
But they came out with all the special editions on PC too, and I just want to collect them. So I think I'm probably gonna pick those up.
So you play both console and PC.
Not so much console now. Definitely
PC kind of changes everything.
Yeah, definitely back then when a lot of like the special editions and the consoles were having a lot of their like the exclusives. But there's not much exclusives now.
Yeah,
everything's on PC. Like almost everything's on PC. So with exception from like Nintendo games, you know.
Yeah. Even PlayStation games initially are on PlayStation, but like Ghost of Tsushima, like you were playing, like now is on PC as well.
Yeah, probably the only console that I still kind of use like from time to time, and it's like rare in between, is the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, same. Just for Zelda.
Just
for Zelda, and that's it.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Dude, what kind of rig are you running right now? I mean, we know it's Corsair.
What's in it?
I mean, it's old, right? So it's pushing. It's like a Crosshair. It's like a Asus Crosshair 8, I think, in it. So that's like maybe like 3 or 4 years old of a motherboard.
Gotcha.
I'm running I think I'm running a 3950X. I don't.
Couple generations back, but it's still a good
hefty
processor.
Card.
Yeah, so I'm running like a 3950X, whatever the 16 core processor was at the time. So I bought that brand new, but that, you know,
Gotcha.
that was right when it came out too, so it's kind of old now.
Yeah.
And then it just, you know, run of the mill, it's a 3090, and then I should have redone the power supply, because I think I'm pushing like a 3090 with like a 750 watt.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it's like sometimes when I push like Arma to the limits, it'll like, I'm gonna turn off now. You know? I don't know. Not enough juice today.
Yeah, that does happen. That happened to me not too long ago, and then Cheef helped me build my new PC because my motherboard and my processor died, so I had to replace those along with my RAM. But the only thing that's left to update in my new computer now is the graphics card. I mean, I have a 3070, and I don't intend to change that till at least the 50 series comes out.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just, she's Frankenstein.
I think in today's day, like the 3000 series from Nvidia is gonna last for quite a while.
I hope so.
I don't see anything that's come out that really pushes that.
Yeah, unless
to
it's a
where you can't game
4090,
off of it,
you know,
what I mean?
it's not that big of a jump in between the 3070 and 4070. I mean, there is a big jump, but it's not so massive that it's a deciding factor that I have to change it. You know what I mean? So between
Right. I think even next gen, you'll still be able to game at least, you know, on high or mid. You know what I mean? And then it's time to look for an upgrade.
I'm just hoping that my PC lasts like 3 more years, because then I'm just gonna have a new one built for me. I want to go smaller case because my case is huge.
No, you went with a big one.
I went with whatever Zach put together on the part picker website, but it's good. I love it, but it's just huge. It's probably good for here. It's good for like, what is it called? It keeps it from overheating.
Ventilation. It's got good,
airflow.
Yeah. So, but I want to go like smaller machine and wait.
Have you seen those cute little box PCs that people build? Those are really cute.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go cute, because I want to go like, I want it to be a beast. I don't care as much what it looks like. I have seen them, and if I felt like I could go cute and still have a effing machine, you know, like, but we'll see.
That's fair.
Zach will be helping me with that.
I feel like those.
You will too.
I feel like those cute ones. I want to buy one so I keep a laptop downstairs by the TV. And I run like, you know, shows or whatever or something through the laptop. I would want to get like one of those really small builds, those really small desktops, just for that.
Like instead of a smart TV, you just like Chromecast it?
Kind of. Well, like sometimes I run things off the PC that I want to display on the TV. Or even if it's just like movies, like DVDs, I'll just put like a little drive there so it can run off there.
If I got a cute one though, it would definitely be like the Death Star or like some kind of like Star Wars incorporated. it would and then I would never want to touch it. It would go on a shelf probably, and I would like never want anything bad to happen.
That sounds
to
like
it.
a personal achievement. There's a Death Star case. You should look them up, but those cases are very expensive too.
That's like goals.
Yeah,
like
those are. Yeah, speaking of achievements, I know I have some friends that really chase Steam achievements when they're playing a game. Do you like doing that too, Cheef? Like, oh yeah, I got no.
Nah. It's hit or miss with me, right? Sometimes I'll get into a game and it's like really fun to hunt achievements, and then other times it's like super like mundane.
Yeah, because earlier Kat was like, I got all these achievements in Baldur's Gate, and she was like rubbing it in, and I was like, yeah, but whatever. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like there's some games that do it real good, and it's like, dude, I want to get that because you know, either like the way to get the achievement is like real fun, and then there's just some games that are just like, you know, kill 2,000 of this, and it's like okay,
it's boring.
Grindy. Yeah.
You know? So it just really depends. I'm not like a outright 100 achievement hunter, but like if the game gives me like nice achievements and it makes it fun to get them, like dude,
I remember we did one of those non-lethal achievements in Ready or Not, in which all of us were rocking like pepperball shotguns. And it was painful because all the enemies have lethal weapons and they're shooting at us, and we're just shooting at them at rubber bullets.
But it makes it so fun, man. I love it.
I just like the little noise. I get a little pop up. I don't even know I'm doing it, and then it's like, oh, you just achieved something, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But I think the best achievement, or the one that feels like the biggest achievement, is one of the ones I got from Baldur's Gate that was like 4% of players get it, and it was that I saved every tiefling that I encountered in the entire game. No tiefling died because of me or near me, and that I was like, I'm a savior.
Yeah, I'm a savior.
I'm a savior.
I will protect you.
I'm a good person, damn it.
Regardless of the other things I did, and I definitely did some other stuff. I
blew all these people up, but at least I saved the tieflings,
Kick that squirrel over.
I did that too. The funny thing is, and this is a spoiler for Dark Urge, I don't know if you guys are gonna play it, but if you play the Dark Urge, that squirrel that comes to you in the beginning in Act 1, you don't even get dialogue. As soon as the squirrel comes to you, just kick it and you blow it up.
Intrusive
thoughts win immediately. You have no option to save that squirrel. Just kick the living crap out of it and just go flying. It blows up. So it's hilarious.
That's funny.
But I don't see Cheef.
I saw Akashas do that in her.
There you go. I was about to say, why is it so dark? There you go. I was about to say,
where'd I go?
There you go.
But honestly, the achievements thing, I'm also not a chaser at all. I'm not a hunter for it. I just like, it's just like a random pops up. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. I killed over 100 people in one artillery shell or something. It's like, oh wow, that's pretty neat. Thanks, but I don't
look at them. The good thing about achievements is they're like a kind of like a feel good kind of deal. Like on specific games, they're like hell let loose. Don't care. Baldur's Gate, I do care because those achievements are like the Toll Collector. If you don't, there's a specific achievement for that I going off the top of my head, it's a fun one. And there's some fun achievements like when you kick somebody off or things like that off the cliff. Those are fun. But regardless, like coming back to Cheef, right? I know Cheef, being in law enforcement, and I know we asked this question earlier about tactical shooters, but like versus just somebody who doesn't understand the concept of certain tactical shooters, does it ever bother you? Like when you play with people that don't know what you're doing, you're like, contact 9 o'clock, and they're like, oh wait.
No, not really. And I know I said it earlier, but that goes into it's why I don't like use terms and
because it's not supposed to be real life.
If I play with the guys from work, and there's a bunch of us actually,
interesting.
that do play stuff like that, we'll like get super into it. We'll do the right call outs, we'll do all that stuff.
I remember we played together Ready or Not with a bunch of your buddies once. It was a fun time.
But I don't really get pissed or I don't really get bothered when I play with like just regular people. And again, it's because I don't really use that nomenclature and that terminology when when I just play with randoms,
Yeah.
and I like
You,
playing with
disconnect
randoms.
it from
I
your
like
work.
playing with randoms because it gets me like something else, something different than
that's
what
good.
I'm used to
Yeah.
and what I see every day.
Yeah.
I get a little
Yeah.
toxic
A
sometimes.
lot
You
of
take a
times.
little-
Don't play it all loose with him.
Yeah. Well, okay. So with the toxicity, like I was when Dota 2 first came out,
Oh, God.
I was super big in like the esports scene for it.
Mhm.
So I learned to grow as a player. I learned to embrace the bad times. That was a very angry time in my
Oh
life.
God,
tell you
yes,
that.
yes. That and League.
I still play Dota once in a while. I've got buddies that still hit me up and like, hey, we're gonna do this thing. You want to come down? You want to play it? And I'll play it, but I don't get mad. I can't get mad at video games anymore.
That's a good thing.
Is there a game that you played, because you've been playing for a really long time, is there a game that you played so much of that you just can't play it anymore? You're like, I'll never play that game again. Like burn out on it?
I don't want to say I'm completely burnt out of like anything. Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to answer that. I go
For
back
me,
to
it's
games.
Rust.
Yeah.
I'll never
Oh.
play it again.
Yeah.
I've got like
I don't know.
1,300
Cat
hours.
plays
and
Rust and
that's
becomes
enough.
a completely different person.
I don't
Yeah.
like me in Rust.
I want to
She
say
does,
like I want to say Dota, having over like a couple thousand hours in it. I don't play it that much anymore. I mean, if anything, I play it like once a month, So I don't know if that counts as like a burnout, but
Yeah.
I still
that's
it's
fair.
not like I revisit it, and when I do, I still have fun.
Yeah, that's good.
So I can't really say that I've completely burnt out on any game or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even
What about you?
Skyrim right now, dude, I have like 2,600 something mods
Oh
on
my
Skyrim.
God, I remember that
I'm
day.
still
Me and Cheef were
That's another
sitting
game
down
I
and
gotta
we,
play.
the Fallout show came out and everybody started playing Fallout again. And I saw Cheef playing Fallout 4. He's like, yeah, dude, there's this really good collection that adds mods to your game. And then I downloaded it and we I don't know, it was like 200 gigs or 150 gigs worth of mods that we downloaded, and then Fallout
my
pushes an
gosh.
update and it breaks everything, so you gotta downgrade everything. And then immediately Cheef is
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm done with Fallout, I'm going to Skyrim. I'm like, what is going on? And he just downloads like 250 gigs of mods. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Skyrim again. I was like, you know what? No, I'm done.
Yeah.
Are you a heavy modder in your games? Like, do you like to mod the crap out of it?
Yeah,
I do too,
I'll
yeah.
say yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that
I
before.
love mods
still.
for games. Like,
And
I've thought
not
about
all
it,
games though,
but
but
I'm like,
majority, like projects, certain games. So certain games become better with mods, right? Base Skyrim, when it first came out, sure, why not, right? Now, if you want to play Skyrim, you want to mod it. You want to play Project Zomboid, you want to mod it. You want to play RimWorld, you want to mod it, because those games, the modding community is so involved and creates such beautiful textures, mods, guns, you name it, right? That you have to, like if you're playing Project Zomboid and then you see a mod for a Corvette, and there's a funny video about a Corvette as well, which is one of the most watched videos for Project Zomboid. You watch it, like it's hilarious. Then you're like, you know what, I want this mod in the game. Then you add those, like, because they add to the fun factor of the game.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. The only games I've ever like heavily modded was Skyrim and maybe like Sims, a Sims game. Like I heavy mod. But other than that, I kind of try to keep the modding like to bare minimum. Like I'll do like user
Quality
interface
of life,
mods,
something
or
that reduces
like
lag, like we use the one for
Yeah.
Valheim that help people connect. Yeah, certain things.
Yeah. Or like Starfield,
Yes,
like those
I
menu
remember.
ones. Those were
Yeah.
so helpful. Yeah.
Starfield does have the
Depends too,
creator
like-
kit up now, so hopefully we'll see a lot more activity from the modding community now.
I don't know if I'll go
might.
back to Starfield after
for the
finishing
sake of how the modding community changes the game and adds more to the world, like if they add something like more interactiveness, more NPCs, something different, like adding to the story of the game, I'm probably gonna go back to the game. More diversity in armors, weapons, so on and so forth. If they add that, like more ships, different kind, like that's our like more kind of guns, I might
Yeah, better ship
better
combat.
ship
Right.
combat.
It's all gonna come out.
Yeah.
I don't doubt like the community of
Yeah.
modders that are backing or are still backing Starfield.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we had just before they came out with all the modding tools.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's already so much stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
even with
Now
Skyrim,
that-
it took 3 years before good mods made surface. So, like Starfield came out last year. I doubt we're going to see any big difference in the modding community for at least a couple of years. I mean, provided they have gotten more used to building mods now. So it may be sooner than we think, but I feel like it's going to be more refined. Like Fallout 4, like mods still come out till this day, and that game's been out for years. And even if you download it now, like the graphical changes and everything is pretty immense with Fallout, and adding of characters, redoing the skin of NPCs or major characters makes a big impact to the story nowadays, especially when like you go and play Fallout New Vegas, you're like, ew, these graphics. Like you don't appreciate those graphics that you appreciated at that time, because everything gets better over time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I agree, man. I don't know if people will stick around. I think the sales of Starfield would push the demand for more mods. Like I don't know how the modding community works with that. You know what I mean? Like, do the modders just stick with it because they love the game, or is there like a demand presence that
I think
they
a lot of
need?
people like modding. I know a few people that mod games, and they actually enjoy doing that kind of thing, right? They're like, okay, I see this in the game. And I'm not speaking for somebody, but the modders that I talk to, and I'm on the Starfield modding community Discord, and I see them like pushing in, hey, what would you guys like? Somebody who just wants to build and enjoys doing that. So some people kind of like building things for people,
Right.
or building things that, hey, I like this. Maybe others will as well. So some people like building those things and then playing the game, and I think they enjoy doing that.
It is on sale right now for $46.89.
I mean, it's Steam
so
sale.
it's 33% off from the $70 mark. So maybe that'll
Yeah, there are a
entice
bunch of
some
games on
players
sale
to-
right now, and I know
pick it
we
up.
made a list the other day as well. Do you have a game that you would recommend people to pick up, Chief, at this time, like at the Steam Summer Sale, that you think they would enjoy with friends or enjoy by themselves?
Have you kept up with your 70
Yeah.
game quota this year?
I'm probably over it right now this year.
A game you think they should pick up on sale and they would enjoy?
Dude, depending on what you're into. If you're into
Yeah,
tactical
it'd be really
shooters, Ground Branch is good. I don't know if it's on sale. I'm pretty sure it is. Ground Branch, Ready or Not. I'm just
Arma's on sale for $3.
Arma.
$3. Oh,
Chivalry 2.
Oh my-
oh my god,
No.
Chivalry 2.
No.
Okay, I've been like
Yeah.
yeah, one of my buddies, he's a detective, right? And then he calls me out of nowhere, and I think I'm working, I don't know if I was like working a warrant or like the fielder one day. He's like, hey bro. I was like, yeah. He's like, hey bro, I'm at home, I'm off, I'm playing Chivalry 2. He's like, this game is freaking great, go buy it. And I was like, dude, I already have it, like I've had it for like forever. He's like, well, get your ass home and we're gonna go play some Chivalry 2. So I've been playing this past week. I've been playing Chivalry 2 with just a couple partners at work.
Nice.
And yeah, it's on
That's
sale.
funny.
The DLCs are on sale. Get it on Steam. I have it on Epic.
Yeah.
So I made the mistake like forever many moons ago, but I can never buy it on Steam because it's like I think I'm like level 16 in the game, right? I think they're
Oh well. We
Yeah,
lost him.
He froze again. So yeah, I know what he's talking about. It's 1 to 1,000.
Yeah, he's back.
He
1
must-
to 1,000.
Oh,
Continue.
you're back.
yeah. So I don't know what's going on. It's like, I gotta get a new computer. Yeah, so the ranks go from 1 to 1,000, right? I'm like only rank 16,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, it took me so
Not
long to get to
starting
rank
over.
16. I don't want to
Yeah.
buy it on Steam and start all over again
You gotta,
because I'm gonna lose my sword
yeah,
skin.
or like you unlock the next tier of crossbow or whatever. Yeah, No, I get that, man. I love that game. It's what I don't like about Chivalry 2 is that if you have like 6-7 people that want to play together, it's hard to get in the same room. It's hard to get in the same match because you can only party up with 4 people, and it's hard to. They don't make the user interface where you can join a lot of people in the same game. So I wish they would do something to address that concern, because there are like we've had where there's like 10 of us and we're like, how do we get in your server? We don't know how.
No, well,
I've never played it. Not
That's
my
the
kind
only.
of game.
That's my only gripe with Chivalry 2. Otherwise, it's awesome. The
Runner's also on
combat
sale.
for it is really cool.
no.
Phasmophobia. I'm like a big horror person too, so like
Yeah,
Phasmophobia
I remember
just had a
that day.
big,
You
huge
guys
update.
were playing it, and you're
That's on
like,
sale.
"Hey, Joe, pick up this game. Come play with us." I was like, "Not interested."
Let's
and I
play it
immediately
again,
look
Joe.
in my Steam library. You have been gifted Phasmophobia by Cheef. I'm like,
Don't you love when people do that? It's like
you know what?
it's like a form of like trickery.
Swear to God.
You know?
He's like, "Oh, demonologist, here, Jelk, you like this game," knowing well that I don't
Oh, we
like
need to
those
play
kind of
that
games
again,
because
too.
these guys would leave me in a house, close
Zach
the door,
does
and
the
run away.
same stuff to me. Pretty sure Zach got me demonologist.
We should
Nah.
play that
You know,
again. That's
it
so
builds
fun.
Red
character.
It builds character.
It
Nice.
builds character.
Nice.
Yeah. Why? Okay, so like I've been playing like horror games since I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, it started with like Resident Evil 2 on the N64, but even like Phasmophobia is a scary freaking
It
game,
is.
dude.
It can be.
When I first got it, and then it was to the point where I was like, oh hey guys, like, you guys got cool.
Yeah, I don't leave the truck.
But then now it's like, but now it's like, dude, like I'll play that
What
game
kind
like
of,
by
like,
myself.
how?
Like,
Yeah.
it's Spanish mode, run through like the entire asylum, like just talking crap to the ghosts, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, you
need to
develop
stream
a
that.
tolerance
Do
to
something.
it.
That would be hilarious.
I guess that's one way to desensitize yourself. Like that's how I won't be scared of
Yeah.
it anymore. Just go and do that.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
pass.
And then you get into a new game like Demonologist, and you're like, oh my god, this is a lot more scarier all of a sudden, you know? Because it's
Demonologist. It's got its gimmicks. Phasmophobia is always going to be the
For
original
sure.
for me.
yeah, it's the most popular one that ever came out.
Yeah.
It's like the OG of it.
All right.
What are your top 3 games
All time.
of all time? All time.
I feel like we already asked him
All
that.
time.
Okay, Elden Ring for sure is one of them. Elden Ring has to be one of my top games of all time.
Wow, really?
He's got to go to Steam
see.
library. Go over 1,000
he's opening
games.
up his Steam.
Yeah, I'm like looking up my freaking library and stuff like that.
Out of the 1,000 games.
He's
that
like,
you own.
number of hours played. Let's
Out of 1,000 games that I've owned.
Okay.
I'd say Ground Branch
I remember those days.
is a good second to that. Ground Branch is like a tactical shooter, and it's one of the few that gets a lot of things right. And if you know, for me, like I would play with like people from work or other people that are kind of like-minded, and you could do a lot of like the real world stuff in that game.
Yeah.
which is why I like it. Man, and then I don't know, dude. Third, my third is so. I don't know. I think it'd have to be. I think it'd have to be like Baldur's Gate or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you know
Never
what?
mind.
You know what? Okay, I take that back. I take that back.
Wow.
My third game, right? I love Baldur's Gate and all of it, but I haven't played it in a while, so I can't really say that it's like my top 3. Maybe like top 5, but
Okay.
the Resident Evil series by far has to be like 3, like in like a whole.
Okay,
collection.
yeah.
Like
I see.
Resident Evil is like one of the first few games that I played growing up that I ever like kind of beat. So it always holds like a little special spot in my heart. And
That's good.
I just love that.
yeah.
Like survival
There are certain
horror
games that stick
stuff.
with you for the rest of your life that you played,
So-
and you're like, you know what? I love this game. Like Excite Bike,
Yeah.
like
That
Excite
stuck
Bike
with
for
me too,
Sakurai.
man.
He does. He Excite Bike.
Resident Evil stuck with me
Excite
too,
Bike.
man. I won't play any other zombie games because of that game right there.
It gave him PTSD.
I love zombie games. I don't classify Resident Evil as a zombie.
Oh, you come on, man! Those
Especially,
zombie dogs jumping out the ceiling,
okay.
man. That's zombies right there.
Have you 100%ed Resident Evil?
No,
6?
no. The last
Exactly.
Resident Evil
So
game
then
I played was in 1998. That was the last time I played a Resident Evil
Scarred
game.
him for life.
So you were one. Yeah. After Resident Evil 6, which I love Resident Evil 6, but Resident Evil 6 is basically the Matrix with zombies.
Matrix with zombies.
That-
That actually sounds pretty cool, but I don't know.
It's cool, just like the movies, right? I love the movies, like with Mila Jovovich, right? It's by far, like, for some, like, why they called it Resident Evil, I don't know, but it's cool because they have some of the characters, I guess. But the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies are basically the Matrix, but with
I haven't
zombies.
seen the movies or played
Oh,
the game.
I've watched pretty much all the movies, other than the last couple, maybe.
Really?
I don't know how many there are. There are too many. But I have. Is there?
Yeah, there's like a TV show
wow.
now, and yeah.
Oh, well.
They
Well,
came
I
out
have
on
one
Netflix
last
not
question
too
for
long ago.
Chief. What advice would you give to people out there as a gamer and a police officer? Any
Any
advice that
kind of
sticks with you?
advice.
It's just like, you know, kind of like
That's a lot
dad
of
advice
advice.
kind of deal.
just be a good person in general, you know. Treat everybody like how you'd want to be treated, whether it's out there, you know, at home or in a video game. I can't really, you know, emphasize that enough. And that's pretty much it, you know. That's coming from like a long line of, like, you know, my background in the department, my background like playing games, like, you know, toxicity is something that I don't think we need at all in
Absolutely.
this world. And I think it just really boils down to just being
Be a
like
decent
Be a good
human
human.
being,
just
yeah.
be
Yeah.
a good dude or be
Yeah.
a good chick, and
I like it.
you know, you don't even need to treat others like how you want to be treated. Just treat everybody like fairly and nicely, and I think everybody gets along. You know,
That's some good advice.
And
man.
anybody you want to give a shout out
I wish
to?
more people would take it.
Yeah.
Shout out to-
Yeah, big shout out.
Maybe it's not. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Chief, man. I really appreciate you coming on here and talking about your
Yeah,
life.
it's nice
and
to get to know you a
profession.
little bit.
A little bit more.
Yeah. And I hope
welcome.
the viewers
I'm
like
sorry that
enjoy
we
that,
had
you know,
a-
like they see another side of, you know, a police officer, or another side of Chief. If they know Chief, you know, they kind of see a little bit into him, and I think the more people understand other gamers, you know, the less
Absolutely.
toxicity we have amongst each other, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming on here and talking to us and opening up to us.
If you have any questions, comments,
you.
or concerns, please email us at
Sweet.
podcast.
Player 2 Start podcast at gmail.com.
Somewhere it's down below. Down there.
It's either there or down there. One of those
Subscribe,
two.
like, get us into the algorithm. Thank you very much.
Subscribe, like, and please don't hesitate to join our Discord. The link's in the YouTube channel. If you don't want to click that link, it is discord.gg/p2, the number 2 and S, and that's it. And you can join our Discord and hang out with us if you want, or check up on us. We're always in there. And also, thanks again to our Discord Nitro members.
The boosters.
I think it's
The
Nitro
booster
members,
seed
or what is it
characters.
called?
Yeah.
Boosters. Thank you. Sorry. The boosters. Thank you for boosting our Discord. I really appreciate it. And we will definitely do some more things for you guys in the future. Is there anything else you want to say before we
Nope,
close out?
That's it.
All right.
Stay-
Yeah,
stay in
sign
school,
that
stay
damn pledge.
All right. Bye, everybody.